It's taken me a little while to decide to do this video response to the excellent post that I pretty much entirely agree with about realism and combat and fun. But there was a part of it that it does beg a comment, and I hope that my comment will add to the quality of the argument rather than turn into a nitpick, which is not at all what I want to do. So the section of the video that I'd like to speak about is about strength. And so we'll begin with agreement. I totally agree that when thrusting, when using light weapons, strength is not a factor. And the demonstration of this proves the point. Why argue with it? What I would like to do is, rather than counter it, is to go further. At a certain stage, strength does become important. Not important enough to say that the original position was wrong, but it becomes important in a specific way. Now, I've been a practicing martial artist for over a decade now, and my martial art deals exclusively with swords, and the practice that we do is object cutting. Right? Live swords, actual cutting mixed with combat. So my position on the thing is having to stand there swinging a real blade and cutting objects until I can no longer stand to be standing there swinging things to cut objects. Right? So as I'm not a large guy, I'm not built like the original poster, I perhaps have a different take on what does and what does not require strength. So long-term combats, swinging steel in order to do damage does require endurance and strength. The most important part of strength for this issue is acceleration. In order to actually cut, that the hacking demonstration that was mentioned before, using the machete to lop off limbs, it does require muscular strength to cut solid objects. It doesn't require as much strength as we might imagine, but it does require strength. And the more strength that you have, the more you can actually cut. For the human body, that's rarely necessary. The amount that even the weakest person can cut. We're not talking about the little girl anymore, but a decent average or even below average combatant, the amount that they can cut with a proper weapon, with a good strike, is significant enough to not matter. But the stronger you are, with the same level of skill, the more you can do. And this is easily demonstrable in competition, or a bunch of guys standing around the backyard. Now, what I normally use is a regular saber. I had this one custom made, and it only weighs 1 kilogram, so about 2.2 pounds. For a couple of swings, it's not heavy, right? But even at the height of, let's say, competition practice, a lot of use means a lot of fatigue. And the stronger I am, the longer it takes for that to happen. Right? Also, the stronger I am, the easier it is to get the acceleration I need to do the cutting I'm supposed to do. Right? So if I'm trying to cut through armor, if I'm trying to remove a limb, if I'm trying to cut through bone, the better my condition, the stronger I am, and the more in harmony my body mechanics, my muscular strength, and my accuracy, the more in harmony those things are, the greater effect I can have. So, as you can see, I don't want to disagree. I want to add something. All right, so this is a regular hand-to-hand range weapon. Okay. The bigger weapons, the ones that do more damage, well, they're a lot heavier. Right? This is 1 kilogram. Okay. The larger sabers, the ones designed to cut the legs off horses and things that are this long. This one's just wood. But they're almost the same weight. This real one and this wooden one are almost the same weight. And well, this is heavy, and it's long. Right? So we have the inertia to deal with. It requires strength to get it moving, to keep it moving accurately so that it will cut into its target and not just hit it. Right? What if we go even further into the extreme? What if we go for a claymore? Right? Now this is not a real one. Okay, my real one is in the bunker on the other side of the earth. This one is made by a Hong Kong company. It's padded. The company's called RSW. You should look them up. They do fantastic work. It's flexible. It allows full combat, without worrying too much about hurting people. Although I've knocked people completely off their feet, I've stunned them to the point where they fall down, and I've broken ribs with this. Now this weapon is pushing 5 pounds. It's realistically balanced according to the original model. It's weighted exactly like the original model. The only difference is its thickness creates more drag, which makes the acceleration point that I've been talking about much more noticeable. Trying to get this thing moving hard enough to deliver a stroke where the guy on the other end knows that he's just been bifurcated takes effort. Okay, it's not something that a 4-year-old or a 6-year-old little girl can do. It is something that a well-trained, not terribly powerful woman, short person, or other typically not muscular type of person can do, which brings me to my point. I think that while we cannot overlook strength, that the original contention that strength equals damage bonus is flawed. It really comes down to skill, because it's skill that unites the amount of strength the practitioner has with the control of the weapon to deliver that force to the right place for those critical hits, which are another excellent point. Striking the right place, being able to get the weapon moving fast enough to be a viable attack, get it moving fast enough to deliver its damaging energy, and whether that's a crushing blow or a cutting blow or hacking through a limb or a linear acceleration for penetration. All of these things do require that the practitioner be able to focus energy into the target. And so while I can't say I 100% agree with the idea that strength is irrelevant, I can agree with the idea that strength doesn't equate to damage bonus. The only thing that can realistically translate to a damage bonus is the ability to strike when and where you want with the correct angle and velocity to damage the target. And that is all skill. Thanks for listening.